G'day lawnies, welcome back. In today's video we are out here on the iron cutter, so basically we're just going to catch up on a few jobs here. Need to try and do a bit of a groom with the Predator Scarifier. Sort of what we can do, we're going to give it another cut at 17mm, so hopefully we can stand the grass up and then give it a bit of a truer cut. Other than that, we will also change direction on the mow, and then also we've got to catch up on some liquids, so probably do a Rootmaxx and Kelp-er application as well on this lawn here. So that's today's job out on the lawn, so let's get to it. Now, depending on which way you like to do it, I ideally, if I get the time, like to do my edging first, get all that cleaned up, and then blow that back on the lawn, and obviously clean it all up once it's all done. So yeah, firstly I do like to do my edging, so I've got the Milwaukee reciprocating scissors and also their edger attachment, so that's all part of their quick lock range. So yeah, check it out if you haven't already. I highly rate the reciprocating scissors. They're one of my favourite tools to use, just to give you such an easier, truer cut compared to obviously a string trimmer. So definitely check that out. And then yeah, the edge I've got set pretty low to the ground, so it really rips out a lot of that dirt and then gives me a nice sharp edge. And then yeah, once that's done, we can then get into, which I'll be doing, the scarifying, trying to give it a bit of a groom. So now onto the scarifying, the thinning out of the lawn, the attempted groom, whatever you want to call it. You know, ideally I'd love a groomer. It makes life so much easier when trying to do this. So I've sort of got it set to just above the dirt height. It's sort of pretty hard to tell because there's not really a great flexibility in adjusting the blades on these. You sort of only got a few different bar settings that you can lock it into. So just doing what we can really. But mainly just trying to stand that grass up so when I come over with the elrow, I can sort of get a bit of a truer cut, because obviously the weight of it really is rolling that leaf over, and it's obviously hard for it to stand back up. So yeah, not exactly what I want, but look, it's better than nothing for sure. Alrighty lawnies, so now we've done that 2 passes on the iron cutter here, so I've done it straight up and down, and then also on a 45. So next step is now is we're going to get out, give it a cut and see how much we get off. Being that we've been using PGR, we haven't really been getting a lot off the cuts lately. We're still cutting twice a week, but we have really got not much. So we'll sort of see how we go now that we've been able to do those 2 passes and try and stand it up the grass. But yeah, let's get into the mow now and see how we go. So before we go and do the mow, one thing we need to do, which the mower is just down behind me there, we need to make sure we're actually cutting paper properly, because we want to make sure our reel to bed knife is, you could grab a bit of grass itself or grab a bit of paper, which I've actually got some just here. So got this from Yard Empire, and basically I can take a strip off, and then you basically, yeah, just test your reel to bed knife to make sure you're at least cutting paper, and then if you need to, you can make any adjustments or give it a bit of a back lap. That'll be in another video, but yeah, for now we'll do that first. We'll test it, make sure we're cutting paper, and then we can get out there and do a mow and know we're at least going to be cutting the grass properly and not sort of ripping and tearing it. So let's get into that. So obviously now we know we're cutting paper all good. Next step is I'm going to show you around the mower quickly. So basically this is an Arrow 26-inch NBCT, so new blade cutting technology, quite an old commercial mower. This was actually being used at a cricket wicket in Adelaide. They were sort of using it at the school there. So yeah, I think I purchased this last year for about 650 bucks, something like that, with a backlash machine as well. And then yeah, got the GX 160, so the Honda engine in it. This thing goes a beast, and it's got independent drive and reel as well. So basically you can control your drive speed and then also engage and disengage your cutting reel as required, which makes life a lot easier. Obviously when you want to, you know, empty the catcher and that, you can just shut that off and idle it down a little bit and chisel sweep. So yeah, that's a quick look over the mower, but now let's get it all set up and then get into the mow. As I said, we're going to be changing direction here just to stop the grass from consistently being rolled over in one direction and basically not giving you a true height of cut because it's being continuously rolled in the same direction. So always good to change your direction if you can. Yeah, definitely worth doing. So I wanted to show you guys this here. So this is about 3 days. I think I last mowed. I think it is 3 days. And when I've been mowing every 3 days, I've probably been getting about half of that off. So you can see just by standing up the grass, we're getting actually a lot bigger bits off as well. So normally it's pretty fine, and this like still is pretty fine. But you definitely see that there's a lot bigger pieces in there, a lot bigger bits of blade from obviously the leaf and that. So yeah, got about double off. Alrighty, so it's about 7:30 now on a Sunday night. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our Rootmaxx and Kelp-er down, and then we'll water it in tomorrow morning. So it doesn't have to be watered in straight away. It can be a foliar application, which we're going to do. Let it settle on the leaf overnight and then water it in tomorrow morning. So that's the plan. Obviously, yeah, wanted to avoid the day, and working early makes it difficult to get it down, but look, that's right, we'll get it down now and it's nice and cool, and yeah, water it in tomorrow. So let's get to it. So Rootmaxx and Kelp-er, so obviously both will be full rates. So Rootmaxx is 250 ml per 100 square meters. Got a bit of a balanced NPK with it and some organics, so we're just pushing that root strength at the moment. So then in the same tank mix, we're doing Kelp-er 100 ml per 100 square meters. And then once I chuck that in, I like to get a tent peg, I think I end up grabbing here, and giving it a good stir up, chuck it through the strainer in the sprayer there, and then add the remaining water, give it another bit of a shake up, so try and just agitate it a little bit. And then yeah, we should be all sweet, just spray it out, which I ended up spraying it in the pitch dark, but we'll get onto that next. Alrighty, so different day. It is now, what is it now, Friday, so it's basically almost a week later. Just been busy in that, and look, I'll show you some of the footage, but that liquid application got very dark very quickly. So yeah, that's why I decided to, I'll just chuck some overlays in here of sort of the process of what I did, but it's pretty straightforward. You guys have seen me do it plenty of times now. So I got my Kelp-er, got my Rootmaxx down, and then obviously the next morning proceeded it with my normal watering application on the Monday morning. So everything went to plan, which is fantastic, and yeah, lawn is looking pretty good. Just actually gave it a cut this morning, so happy with where it's at the moment. Obviously big week coming up next week, so on Monday I should be able to do my rye overseed on the Tahoma out the front, so going to start that on Monday. So yeah, that project will come out next weekend on YouTube there. But once again, legends, thanks for watching. Hope you guys sort of get some information out of what I'm doing here, and just sort of my weekly or fortnightly things that I do on this lawn. So obviously, this is going to come into winter soon here. I'm not going to overseed it, so we're really just going to see how it handles. Obviously, once frost comes, it's going to get pretty knackered pretty quick, I would say, just because it's hard to control with the frost. But look, it'll be what it'll be. But next week, big week, rye overseed on the Tahoma coming at you. So once again, thanks for watching. Make sure that like, subscribe, and yeah, stay tuned for next week. Should be a big one.